Agustin Henze, team. This is about embedded ARM development in Debian. I will talk about the progress that we made since last year in Switzerland until now. We were missing a toolchain in the archive for embedded the ARM system, and well, now we have one, a good one. What does means embedded system here? When we talk about this, we are talking about something that without an operating system, you need to manage the hardware resources. You need to deal with this. But if you want, you can put an operating system. At the end, you always generate just one file that you upload into the microcontroller. With this toolchain, you never will generate a Debian package. Debian is just the building environment. Let's clear that. This toolchain supports 3 big groups of ARM processors. The first one is the Cortex-A. If for application use, it's the same that we have in ARM HF or ARM for ARM B7. The instruction set is that we have in that architectures, in that ports. The other one is the Cortex-R. This is for real-time application, and the instruction set is the B7R. If you need a real-time, a robust response, you want one of that, because this it has 2 processors running in parallel, and the output is compared. If doesn't match, this raise a signal that you can catch or you can reboot if doesn't match the output. In the last are the Cortex-M. They are for multi-purpose devices. Yeah, thank you. They are the most cheap, so we are focused on that. Well, doesn't look. You cannot read that, but in the left column, it has which CPU you are using, and the middle column, the command line option that you need to pass GCC, and here the instruction set. That is in Debian archive. Test. Oh, very good. Well, next slide. What do we have on Debian now? The GCC build is from the GCC Debian source with some patches applied to support the architectures that I mentioned before. We have this toolchain supports multiple instruction sets, B6M, B7M, B7EM, etc. And also with FPU or without FPU. It depends the combination. It depends the chip that you have. Also, we have 2 firmware uploaders. LPC21 ISP is for NXP chips and NXP manufacturers, and the LM4 tools is for in Texas Instruments. Yeah. Also, you can use OpenOCD for many others, but that are most simple. We have some examples with the linker scripts and the makefile that you can use for start projects from scratch. And we have the C and C++ library. The C library is the new lib, but I am uploading this in Debconf. That it tries to reduce the footprint of the C standard library. It's optimized in size and does not include the floating point by default at standard input-output. And, well, if you have any suggestion or comment, please do it. We need some help. I would like to have a how-to start a project from scratch, and I don't know, something else that you consider necessary. If you want to help, I have a beautiful to-do. I don't know if the first one is really a good idea, but we can do that. We can upload other C and C++ library, and everything will be work fine. What else? Well, I would like to have a PyOCD that is based on CMC's DAP. So many, I think, every chips that supports this will be supported by that project. I would love to have the BSP for each microcontroller, like AVR libc does have. What else? Well, I found that library that supports many chips, but it lacks other many. So I don't know if you know any library that we can use. So please. Well, ideas, comments. This is above. So I would like to listen. What do you use frequently? I don't know. What is the use the often problem that you have with this toolchain, with another toolchain that you use? What do you use right now? Summon ARM toolchain, maybe. Do you have any problem with that?
Anyone uses another one? Would I recommend?
You may want to have a look at embed.org. I was saying that you may want to have a look at embed.org. It's an interesting.
Doesn't work.
It's simply just for streaming only. I don't mind. I can speak up, no problem. Embed.org, so that's the interesting mixture of an online tools with open source libraries for microcontrollers. Okay?
Oh, that's great.
Just just have a look at the browser. Just quite literally embed, as in mbed.org, and the general idea, the general workflow there is that you actually type your code and build it online in a web browser. There is a sort of IDE and a compiler behind it, but
nice.
you can export those projects and then build them with GCC if you want to. It's just it's very different. You may want to have a look at the at what they are doing, and there's a very vibrant community behind it. So there are people doing crazy stuff. more or less this feel of Raspberry Pi community, but more well, more microcontroller oriented.
Do you know if they have a tool for start a project from scratch?
Oh yeah. So there is they support directly a bunch of platforms. Like from ST Microelectronics, you have the Nucleus ones, so small boards with some Cortex-M micros, or the Freedom board from Freescale.
Oh,
This
nice.
kind of low cost boards, and they are either directly supported in the tool. So effectively, you just click, you just select the board, and it will build with the correct bootstrap code, the correct initialization. You just type your code in C++, and you've got a bunch of libraries. And probably the one feature that is even more interesting is the way you actually program the target. So all the boards have an additional micro on board, which act as a mass storage device, and you just plug the board into USB. It shows up as a drive, and you copy the build image to it, reset the board, it works.
Oh, do you know the license is free software?
So yeah, all the libraries have been released. I think it's MIT or Apache license.
Oh,
it's not GPL, but it's in one of the permissive ones. And there is even a disclaimer, I actually work for ARM, and that's an ARM project as well. I should have started with this.
Okay.
I don't work, I don't work with the embed guys. They live 2 floors above me.
Me
but
neither. Me neither.
Well.
I don't work for ARM.
Yeah, but so anyway, and there is also the hardware kit, which is also open source, so it gives you information what to put into this additional chip, what kind of firmware should be there, in order to make it embed compatible.
Oh, great.
And I say, then this is aimed more at rapid prototyping, so you just do stuff, and then when you actually go to production, you export it and build it with, if you want to, obviously, you build it with the hosted toolchain.
Oh, perfect.
So
Sounds
just have
cool.
a look. There's a lot of ideas there.
I will take a look. Someone else? Any question?
Insult.
Yeah. Everything?
Everything? We take everything.
No? Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
No.
No?
Over
No,
there.
thanks.
Have you used OpenOCD?
Yeah, I tried. This is really kind of sucked. No, it has many configurations. So you have a boilerplate. Is really big, but it works.
Yeah, my experience depends a bit on which chip you use it for. It works okay on M3, I think, and even on ARM7, but it doesn't work very well on A9 or something like that. Anything newer seems to be not supported very well.
Okay, I didn't know that. Someone else?
If you've had experiences in this, I wonder if there's some, diagnostic learning development boards or something, or common hardware that someone who want to get started, like this year. I mean, there might be some old stuff, but what might be obtainable hardware that could be used in this way?
I think that one easy board is the Launchpad Stellari Launchpad from Texas. Because, well, we have the tool from debugging and uploading the firmware, and you have many examples to start. So I think that this is cool. It's $9 or $8, something like that.
Because I was going to say Freedom Board from Freescale is also interesting because it also costs something like $10.
Oh yeah.
That's important, right?
Yeah, it's really important.
So, what is a typical object code size for your the OS?
You are mentioning about the ABI.
Yeah.
Well, we have many ARM V7 or start from ARM V6 and V7 with different combinations with the FPU or without the FPU. Yeah.
talking about where to get sort of devices to play with, there's, I think they're Czech company called Olimex, who do a very, very wide range of little boards with lots of different CPUs in. Bulgarian, are they?
Bulgarian.
Oh, they're nearby. But they're very cheap, and the boards are well supported. You can get the schematics for them. And when we were doing the entropy key, we prototyped on Olimex boards quite happily and built all the software under Debian, just using, I think we were using the Code Source 3's C compiler and ST's libraries that they provided open for driving, and it was actually pretty painless.
Well, if you can, if you want to upload that.
Well, Daniel Silverstone has on his website a whole build environment that you just plug in your favored version of GCC, and it gives you a sort of make menu config-like interface for saying, I'm using this particular part, and I want these features, this is the pinout that I want, and it sort of creates a project for you which you can then just fill in reasonably easily. But that's specific to the ST Cortex-Ms. I don't think it supports anything else.
M4 or M3, I think.
Yeah, it just does the ST ones. It doesn't do any of the Texas or NXP ones. But I imagine it could be extended to...
It's the same. It is the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
There's your BSP framework, right? your two new BSP
Yes, yes.
framework
The BS...
extend.
Yes, yes. The BSP is missing here. If you know about some project, yes, you can
So
start.
if we start with his project,
Yeah.
and just extend that as a
or
template
embed
for-
project, maybe.
or maybe that.
Yeah.
So have you given any thought to multi-core processors yet?
I really don't know if there are multi-core.
Yeah, no, R5 can be SMP.
The R5 can be SMP or lockstep mode, or you can also have a single R5. Then, of course, do not have lockstep or.
Oh yeah,
No,
I mentioned the two processors running in parallel.
Yeah,
but
there's lockstep mode.
yeah, lockstep. That's
But-
the right name.
But you can also run them in SMP apparently.
Ah, okay, no.
So is there a list or IRC channel where you guys hang out, or how should we coordinate for a wiki page, anything?
Well, that would be great. We can use the Debian cross mailing list, maybe.
Okay.
It's already there.
Nice.
Questions? Informations? Experiences?
Oh,
For now?
it's luck. Anyone?
Now the photography is here, so we can.
Well, if there is no comment, so thanks for coming.